Looking at you. He's gonna get you. Don't pee in my yard, Whiskey. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing all right. Pretty nice day today. Almost feels like some people are like spring. To me, it feels like one of those as fall's starting to kick in, right? Not like as spring's kicking in. Anyways. Whiskey's having a heyday. These little guys are all over the place. So, a lot of things going on lately, right? We've got a lot of minstrels misleading a whole lot of people, causing a whole lot of ruckus, right? You know what I'm saying here? Do you know what a jester is? Right? A jester or a joker, the fool, all these different terms. That means something that still applies very much today, but comes from the ways of the old. Everything around us, everything before us, there's nothing new under the sun, right? They just make us believe there is. A jester, right, is or a joker, right? Medieval times, I suppose, ancient times, what they would use. These people were like musicians, storytellers, poets. You know, they'd use all these different forms of art and different talents like that to that was their role in life, right? They would be there they would make their money by living in the homes of the rich, right? And to be there to entertain the rich is how it first started. Well, along the ways, you could see So along the way, it turned into a more different form of the thing, you know, right? Like, there's all kinds of examples we could talk about, and all the things that bring so you can understand. Okay, but let's say like Shakespeare very much was a under the command of a king, right? But he wrote his stories and plays, and this is what they entertained the masses with. This was the bread and circuses. So the minstrel, the joker, the fool, buffoon, jester, right? These all are terms of that role. And they would do all kinds of acrobat acts and juggling and comedy sketches, and, you know, much what you see today. So you would see those roles, I guess, in today's world. People took these as careers, right? Much as they were then, right? They belonged to the house or whatever. Back in the day, you could not criticize the king or the government, whatever the monarchy, whatever the establishment was. You could not criticize that. The jester could, right? He had a right, a special privilege to do that, where he could criticize government, criticize society, stuff like that. Okay, now in modern times, you would see this as your famous people, right? Your actors, your musicians, stuff, you know, all these different kinds of things, right? You go to the circus, all this, it all derives from that. This, as I said, was the bread and circuses. You give them bread and circuses and they will never revolt. And this is how this came about. And one of the things about jesters was they would put these people into, you know, there was different ones. People, some just traveled around to entertain the common folk, right? But the most famous of them, and, you know, the most regarded, were the ones owned by the king, right? I suppose, right? Belonged to the house of whoever the ruler was. Anyways, along the lines, these roles now became that whoever was in charge of the establishment, they would use these people to bring different things, to do different things, and then they would gauge how the people reacted, right? They would start to bring outlandish things out in the open and see how people reacted, and they would all do it under the guise of this gesture, right? And this person was the fool or the buffoon. So, right, they would use these people to play the fool, right? So if they would set these certain ideas out there, and if the masses got pissed off, up in arms over it or whatever, they would go after that person, right? And then the monarchy or whoever's in, right, would know, that heads of state would know, well, we're crossing the line there, let's back it up, right? And if people just, no uproar came from whatever's being pushed out in their face, oh, well, they're accepting of it, let's give them more, right? Now we can, this is how we can turn our society. This is who we can be. Is any of that starting to make sense yet? I mean, look exactly what's going on. And when you know it, stuff like this pops up right at the right time for this subject while we're talking about it. right? This play or whatever it is. I don't know. Once Upon a Mattress sounds weird. Rainbowish looking colors on it. I don't know, but I don't know what it is. I have to look. But it's going to be right here at this big old Defiance Community Auditorium. This is such things I'm talking about, right? Traveling Jesters. And they're going to put whatever out there in the play, and you're going to be entertained by it and get whatever emotions from it. Right? And if they, on a community level, if they put something out there so abhorrent, you're going to hear about it. Right? But these days, right, they might put some kind of this and that disgusting message in there, and it might be laughed off. Or, oh, well, some people got their ways. That's not how I choose, right? Back in the days of the real Jesters, it was, they didn't have nothing else. That's what they had. That's what their entertainment was, right? And so when these people did something wrong, right, they played the fool, as I said. And so you look at today, and you got that going all around. Right, as I said, like it's the actors and the musicians and all these people that once you learn about, okay, gestures, minstrels, the fools, buffoons, all of that, right, were technically owned and operated, controlled by whatever government was in power, right? Whatever form of government was in power, whether it be a king or a, whatever. And in today's society, we have much the same thing, right? You have Illuminati we hear about. This and that about Illuminati, that probably done got me nicked for that one, right? Well, anyways, and then this person and that person's in the Illuminati. You find out all this. Suddenly, this certain musician or shitty-ass rapper or talentless actress suddenly is somebody, right? And they're praising them and giving them all the glory and giving them whatever is the spotlight role of whatever their use is. With the women, it's, oh, you're willing to get naked and do all these, show off your body and do all these lewd sexual acts performed for a public. Then, you've done sold your soul, stained yourself, right? But they're willing to go along with it. They're now a part of the Illuminati. They are now the gestures of those rulers, right? To put it in, for lack of a better way of putting it into perspective for you. Let's take a look. Let's consider one such person we wouldn't, right? Would be Alex Jones. Right there, I done got myself in trouble again right there, right? Let's be clear, back in the day, I refer sometimes to my website, right? Back then, I wrote 2 different articles, highly publicized articles that were in defense of Alex Jones. There were certain people that would come out, but they weren't calling him out as he was part of the system or not, nothing like that. But I've defended him. Over the years, and it's not recent, it's been a while now, I have totally pulled my support from Alex Jones. I don't trust him, and nor should you. Alex Jones is a minstrel. He is playing the role, he's the buffoon, playing the role of the fool for you. Right? Not for you, for them, for Illuminati or whoever, right? He is, we can go back, I mean, what, you want to go back to the whole threat of the shot, right? He was taking sides with it. He's a plant, or he's been bought and paid for, right? There's no way he's worth that much money without these people owning him. And that's exactly what they do. He's the gesture. He does what they tell him. Okay? And they do this for different sectors, right? There's a growing or has been for years, right? The whole truth movement, especially ever since 9/11. That's one of the things that they've done blatantly right in our faces, and still no one has paid for it. I'm telling you where we're at in society. We allow them to direct us, direct our anger, direct, everything, right? Tell us how to feel about stuff, and we're going along with it because the majority was smart enough to know that 9/11 was what it was, right? No one's paid any prices for it. And now we have the whole, and because it's not a left and right thing, right? The government or you, right? And the government is the state versus you. And they know that there's this big truth movement growing. People are getting sick of being, all the blatant nonsense surrounding the whole conspiracy stuff, right? Pretty much he sold himself out. We can see that. Alex Jones, because look at where we're at now. He's defending the very sick people that he supposedly tried to warn us about all this time. He's bought out. He sold his soul. He's a whore. So, I'm sure my subscribers are smart enough about that, right? But there are people out there that aren't, who are still listening to Alex Jones. I caution you, do not trust Alex Jones. You listen to him if you want, but I haven't tuned into him for a long time. They use this guy to, what they always do is throw out what they're doing, right? Alex Jones's role is to let you know what they're doing, and then make him start acting crazy, so you think that, oh, well, this ain't true. Only a bunch of nut jobs believe this shit, right? But that's a two-sided thing there, because then they also got the people who are brainwashed. Everyone needs somebody to praise, it seems like, right? And because he's still got all these followers, people are still tuning into him, listening to him, supporting him. And he is clearly one of their Jesters, right? One of their buffoons. Watch everything he's talking about now. He's coming out in support. And I'm sorry, but I also get it, because it's not just him. There's a lot of people on. Somehow Alex Jones became a political party, right? On the side of a political party. That's not what our movement ever was, right? It wasn't about choosing a political side. It was about standing against the corrupt government. He's one example, and you can take all these examples, right? That's one extreme there. You got it on the political end, you got it in the entertainment end, and a lot of your anyone they're pushing out there, suddenly, well, we don't realize it. Suddenly one day we wake up and so and so's got a new hit song out, right? Well, how did so and so just automatically overnight have this? How did it automatically overnight become some huge hit, right? And I'm not saying there ain't cases. I'm talking literally. You wake up in the day tomorrow, and the system is telling you who the huge hit is, right? We don't realize that. They hide out. They do everything to make it harder for any independent people, really, because they want to control all the masses, all the entertainment, what you consume. And one thing they do when doing that is push their agenda out there, right? You take all the ones who are owned and controlled by the Illuminati, whether it be the musicians or the, like Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, right? These are just examples, right? In my generation, it was Madonna. Not just, and they're not singled out, It's the whole group of them. We don't realize it, but some are more blatant than others. But the point is, right? They're part of this several-sided psyop going on. They're there. They're your bread and circuses, right? And we eat it up. Oh, so-and-so's a hit. Let me take part, and also downloading that, buying it, supporting it, whatever, all this stuff. Like I said in one about being in connection and unison. Why is it that we all got to have the same shit? And, you know, right along these same lines, sometimes when we're walking through town, my videos, you'll hear the music in the background. That's because they're playing the music in town, right? I mean, it is what it is. Not to say it ain't kind of cool. You walk through town, you hear the, but who's choosing what music you're listening to, what's put on there? And the thing is, that's what it's about. It's to keep you under control, to keep you subdued. And that's how that stuff works, right? You come into town now, your feeling is a little bit different because the music they're playing or whatever they're broadcasting on there. And my point about it is all this stuff going on, and somehow our servants decided that it was important for us to spend, it's important for them to, the important use of your tax dollars was to install this expensive wireless sound system all through town. Anyways, we'll try to close this out with a more important point. I mean, with the most important point. These are examples that I've given you. And another example, what's going on, and they use this when the masses don't object to it, don't get in an uproar against it, then it becomes accepted. And then they keep pushing things out there to normalize it. And that's exactly what we've seen going on in our society for generations now. Through the movie industry, the music industry, all the entertainments and arts. And they've been slowly working on your minds, keeping this stuff, constantly bombarding you with it, right? The stuff we're hearing about now coming out in these files, all this nonsense that they won't shut up about and quit throwing it in your face, but yet not hold anyone accountable. There's no excuse on any side, period, right? You don't get to say, oh, well, since I wasn't mentioned in it, it's time to move on. No, it's time for every guilty party to pay, right? Because this what, but we're not. They spent years and years using their buffoons, using their entertainment industry that they 100% own and operate to manipulate our minds and to subdue us to these things, to make us numb to it, right? You've been seeing this for years in movies, and oh, I like horror movies, you know, you hear, I like this kind of movies, I like that kind of movies. And all these movies that everybody loves so much, we're showing you using black magic, using, you know, all kinds of stuff like that, right? Always things that we should not be being exposed to. But we kept on going with it, kept on allowing it. No one got outraged. And now we find out that this is exactly what they're doing. They've been doing this to wait for the outrage. And no, as you didn't get outraged, you then became accepting of it. And where are we now? Right? There's too many people that they just don't want to believe that this is the nightmare we're all living in right now. That everyone around you, you don't know of which you can trust, of who you can trust, of who belongs to them. Who around here is, you know, licking their chops for you, right? Who is around here doing all these dirty things, right? All these bad deeds. But they continue, and every day goes by that we just let this go on. It ain't right. We're messing with our own minds, our children's minds, and this just tells you where we're at. Okay, great judgment is about to come, and this is going to last a little while longer and going to get worse, and we know this. Whose side are you on? You got to choose that now. Because as sides that are everybody are flocking to, or this side and that side, and not seeing the door that's blocked, right? They're not seeing properly. Both sides are leading to the same place. And we got all these people among us that are all accepting of it. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe I'm one of them, right? It's not, it's not. Hopefully you and I were the better of all of it. Okay? We're going to keep out of it and not take part in this nastiness that's being normalized. And no one wants to step up and do anything about it. And my question to you is, we got all kinds of new things going on. AI's taking over. They're saying by 2027, all white-collar jobs will be gone. Your lawyers are now going to be AI after 2027. Your, just everything, right? And we're still accepting it, right? But it's going to happen. So my point is to try to help everyone, as many people as I can, come out of it and stay out of it. This is questions we need to ask ourselves. Am I still watching Hulu? Am I still watching Netflix? Am I still watching cable, network television? Or am I supporting people that are supporting things in my mind with stuff that is more important, right? Anyways, the point is they've used their buffoons, jesters, fools, minstrels, all this time to numb us out to the stuff that we're finding out about today. Let's be honest, you're not pissed off enough. You're not pissed off enough. And you're numb to it. And why is that? Because they spent all these years throwing it in your face through the movies, through the music, everything in society that you can think of. They've been putting it out there slowly, more and more, crossing more and more lines. Well, when it first started, it was light stuff. When all the perverts, just had to go along with it. Well, we had to let our perverse minds put our evil thoughts into reality through movies, through the television and entertainments, right? All this stuff that's come out recently, they're shocked, right? But not enough shock. I was not surprised at all. But, for years, I've been saying this kind of stuff's been going on, right? But then I find out even the people that's denied it for years, no one's shocked enough. It comes as no surprise, and that's the thing. That's what we don't understand, because they've been using your mind how they see fit. So, all the stuff we consume, all these famous people that we want to like because we pretend they're good people, and they keep telling us, they keep trying to assure us, oh, it ain't all that bad, right? They're the ones been pushing it in your face. They're the ones owned by these sick, disgusting people at the pedals at the top. Just thought we wanted to share that with you. We don't realize that we're still living in a time where they're using their fools to manipulate the game. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Whiskey and I, we appreciate it very much. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments, for that is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. See ya.